So what I chose to do is redo a module that I had in a class that I teach that's already an online class. It's called Foundations of Chemistry. So this is a module that my students have already completed. And the way that this module and most of my modules are set up is that they can go through this in any particular order that they want. Now, ideally, they're supposed to click on reading the directions, and it contains the objectives and all of the directions, any resources, everything for that module that I want them to do is in there. But what I found is that students do not always do that. And what they'll do is just click on things that have a due date. So what I've done is redone part of the module. First of all, it was a big unit, so I split it into two, and I would call this part one. There would be a part two, which would be the stoichiometry part. I also made it so that they have to complete all items. I put that requirement into this module. And in addition to that, they have to complete them in order. What I did was everything that was on that one page I put on separate pages to make it easier for the students. And since they have to get it in order or have to do it in order, at least I'll know that they're looking on everything. So first they'd have to click on the objectives, and this would be the objectives for this unit. Secondly would be most of their work for the unit, most of the things that they need to do before they can take the quiz, which will assess whether or not they understood the material in this unit or not. So there's the video knowledge check. And again, I really like using these because what it does is it's a narrated PowerPoint, and every once in a while questions will pop up. And the students can answer the questions, or if they're not 100% sure, they can rewatch that part of the video that happened before the question, and it gives them a chance then they can also retake the quiz and resubmit it, and it really helps them to just get an overview of the content and the things that I think are important. So to go back to that module, then the next thing that they would do, so they're starting at the objectives, then they're going to the readings. Then there's also balancing equations video. And this video I made using a program called Show Me, which enables me to use an iPad as a whiteboard. And I will make videos like this, they're usually short, when I want to go through step by step with students and write things out and show them how to do things. So this was, it's an assignment, it's not worth any points, but they still have to do it. It will still show up as something that is due. So let me go back to the modules. Oh, actually, I was already, sorry. There I am. So after they do these, there are readings, homework. We use an online, an open educational resource, OER, and it's a free book. That's what textbook A is. We use actually two of them. They're referred to as A and B. This would not be the first unit students would do, so they'd already know all of that. Then next, I put some additional resources. There's a balancing equations tutorial that they can just click on. It's done almost like a game where they will get a reaction. They have to balance it. They can check their answer. I also like this because if they do something wrong and they check their answer and it's not correct, it can show them the answer. And then sometimes it will tell them why it's wrong, or it will show them the part of the book that they can get that answer in. So I put this as a separate page because now I realize not all students will need to watch all of these videos. I've linked, oops, I don't know what happened there, sorry. I've linked to 3 YouTube videos, 2 on balancing equations, 1 on writing net ionic equations, and then there was that tutorial. So this would be for students who maybe don't quite get just watching my videos and they want another another explanation of the content. And then the last thing that they will do is take the quiz. And this is a graded quiz. And I'm really excited about the quiz because I did make some modifications to it. The first 3 questions are pretty much the same. They just have to balance some reactions, balance some equations. But then in the second or the next couple of questions, I was able to find some diagrams, some pictures that I uploaded to make it a little bit more interesting. They can actually see what these substances look like before the reaction takes place. And then they have to tell me what type of reaction it is. There's 3 of those. And then for the last question, which is an essay or extended response question, and I need to fix that. It's not worth 0 points. It is worth points. I must have forgotten to add those when I was editing it. And there's actually a video, and it will show them what the reaction looks like. We talk about net ionic equations and spectator ions and forming a precipitate. And so this will actually show them. Makes the quiz a little bit more interactive. Eventually, I'd like to make them even more interactive, but makes it a little bit more interesting. Since this is a completely online class and they don't have a lab that goes with it, they get a chance to see some of the things that they would have done in lab. And so those are my, oops, sorry, that was a timer I set, but those are my modifications. And that was what I created, this new module to, I think, make it easier for students and to use some of the things that we learned in this course.